Alright, so we have baby steps, and the only thing I could compare this to is basically the other sport anime, but I don't watch all the sport anime. I watch Kuruko basketball, but I can't say it's similar because Kuruko is pretty intense. And I don't know, this could be just like that, where, I mean, he didn't have a match yet, you know, but it could be very similar. I just didn't get that far. But it's obviously about tennis though. I mean, the picture kind of tells me. But this anime is pretty much about Muro Ichiru, but we'll just call him A-chan because everyone in this class calls him A-chan because he's like a straight A student and he pretty much has a schedule for like everything that he does. And this is, you know, obviously he plans out everything in advance and just follows it. And some of his friends think he's kind of boring because he does that. They wonder, like, why don't you have fun? You know? And he's like, well, I do the things that I do in school because at school I'm supposed to do that. It's for my future and stuff like that. Everyone else is like, yeah, but what about fun? Like, no one goes that far. Like, what do you do for fun? So, he decided he needed some exercise, but nothing that was get in the way of his studies or anything like that. Just something that get him some exercise so he doesn't get out of shape. And he decided to do tennis, and immediately it was over his head. He couldn't even do the warm up without falling over and passing out. But apparently a girl in the class, which you'll see in this anime, Natsu, or well, her full name is Takasaki Natsu, but we just call her Natsu. Now she entered the picture when she wanted some notes for her class, and A-chan is pretty much the one that's like an honor student and gives everyone in the class some like notes. So he pretty much gives notes for everyone in the class, and he gave her his notes, and that's how they were pretty much introduced. But he runs into her again when he's looking at the tennis club, and it seems like she is somewhat affecting his, you know, his choices. He's not completely thinking by the book as he was before. I can only say he might like the girl because she's like, according to the class, she's the cutest girl in the school, but I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on in his head. It could be, it might not, but all I can say is that he's clearly gonna decide to keep doing tennis because that's what it's about, tennis. So it's not like he's gonna quit, but I don't know, we'll see. I recommend, actually, if you like tennis, then yeah, you'll enjoy this. But for those who don't like tennis, you might watch it just to see what happens to this guy, this main character. Because, I mean, he is already weird because of how he does his day-to-day, but you'll decide when you watch a few episodes whether or not you like it. But for a sports fan like that, like tennis and whatnot, you would definitely like this one. because usually there's baseball anime. Japan loves baseball, but so it's good to see something else. So there you have it. Decide whether you like it or not after a few episodes, and we'll see. Okay, so this is Black Bullet. And my impression of this anime pretty much was that of like a Resident Evil and Psychopaths, like together. So that pretty much sums it up right there. But as far as the anime goes, it's like the year 2021, and basically all of mankind has pretty much been decimated and brought to the brink of extinction, I guess. Maybe not in like a Shingeki, you know, or Titan type of way, but it is basically a huge epidemic with this like parasitic like virus, and they call it gastria. And it seems like all of them, like all like all the humans that get infected in this Resident Evil type of way, become these like the host body can't contain the virus for too long, and then they become something else, and they in turn attack other people, and it just spreads from there, and they get infected and whatnot. So you start this anime seeing the like complete utter destruction of like Japan and how they were losing the battle, and then it kind of goes to 10 years in the future, and you'll see that humanity has survived, seeing how it's gone 10 years in the future, but fighting these gastria virus hasn't ended yet, and many lives have been lost obviously since then, and the survivors have these huge like towers or monoliths made of this black metal called uranium, and it's somehow able to I guess the gastria virus hates this metal, and it's able to stop their regenerative abilities and other abilities, so they stay clear of it, and they surrounded themselves with these monoliths of uranium just so that they can thrive. But obviously that is not really working, because they are still attacking people. So not only that, but apparently if a pregnant woman is attacked by anyone infected by this gastria virus, or anything affected or is like some sort of monster, is just gastria to them. So if a pregnant woman is attacked by gastria, then the child, I'm just gonna assume that the mother is gonna die because they don't have a cure. So I'll just say the mother dies, but the child survives, but is always female, and the child is born with the gastria virus within them, and it gives them the supernatural or superhuman abilities because of the virus, and they're called the cursed children, and they are called, like, they're in the civil security like service in Japan, and which is, you know, funny because this is like a global thing, but we're just looking at Japan. So they are called the initiators, and because they're the ones that have all the power and can kill the Gastrias pretty easily, and they're pretty much humanity's last hope, where their partner, the promoter, which the main character in this anime is Satomi Rentaro, and I'll just call him Rentaro. He's the promoter. He's the one whose job it is basically to bring the cursed child, which is his partner, Ehara Enju, we'll just call her Enju, to the places where Gastrias are attacking, and then he's basically supposed to control her, like be her leash, I guess. And she does the fighting. So that's how that partnership Psychopath sort of deal works. Because in Psychopaths, I think you had like a cop and then like a criminal as a pair, and the criminal knows what the other criminals are thinking, so he can go get them, right? So that's how it works. So I get Rentaro's basically a high school student at this point, because in the anime you see him as a child, so 10 years later he's a high school student. But Enju, on the other hand, she I don't know how old is Enju, but she is a cursed child, so I'm assuming she's in elementary school. But that pretty much sums up how this anime is. It's really interesting, and I'm curious as to how this anime will end. I have no idea how many episodes it will be in total, but it definitely caught my interest, so I recommend you watching it. And let me know what you think about it. Alright, so this is Bokura wa Minna Kawaisou, or the Kawaii Complex Guide to Manners and Hostile Behavior. Now, this anime is about romance. So, it is also a high school, you know, the high school type anime, but with romance like as the focus. Then you have this guy Usa, who's the main character, Usa Kazunari. He's been wanting to live alone for a while, and he finally gets that chance, and now he wants to have a girlfriend as well. And basically right off the bat, in the first episode, he finds the girl of his dreams. And the only problem is she really doesn't even notice him. So it's pretty one-sided at this point. So he's like completely in love with this girl, but he has yet to have a look at his new place, because his parents went to move somewhere else for work, which is usually the case. And so after school, he finally, you know, heads to the place where he's supposed to start living, and he finds an old building, and he's already having a bad idea about the whole living alone thing. Like, he wants it, but he doesn't want to live like in some old building or whatever. But he goes in there, and then he runs across some like weirdo, like peeping on like underage like girls in a elementary school or something, and the guy like knows his name, and he's already freaked out about it. Police show up, and he runs away. And when he finally gets to the building that he's supposed to start living, you know, his new life, like, you know, by himself and whatnot, he finds out that same weirdo guy that he ran across is his roommate. So he really did not want to be there at that point. Like, that was it until he was on his way out. And when he's like right out the door, literally, he runs across the girl of his dreams, and he finds out that she also lives in this building. And once he saw that, I mean, everything changed. He didn't want to leave at that point, so he stayed in the building, and he's trying to spend like the whole time being there to try to get to know this girl, and he's failing miserably, as she's pretty like cold on the outside, so he can't exactly get to know her or find out anything about her except that she likes reading books, and that's pretty much it. That's all he can see, and that's all he knows. But as he's trying to like learn more about her, he realizes that the house that he's living in itself has some sort of rules where there's only certain places he can and can't go. That there's a part of the house where guys can go, and a part of the house where only girls can go. He can't cross these lines, so he's learning more about the house as well and how things run there. But he also realizes that she has a mother who is like this very beautiful woman that put her there in the first place, but he didn't know that she was a tenant as well at this place. And it isn't until later he runs across her and sees that she's like a single mother who is constantly finding like the wrong boyfriends, and and it always ends badly, like he cheated on her or something. Like, it seems like she keeps finding the same type of guys where it always ends badly, and she never gets married and she's still single and whatnot. That's pretty much what happened when he ran across her, and she's like a heavy drinker as well, so yeah, he has his hands full dealing with her, and I guess maybe through her he can learn more about her daughter, I guess. But I'm just making an assumption with that one for the later episodes, but you will see immediately after meeting her that he pretty much has his hands full. So what it comes down to is basically him, you know, as Uza, and this girl of his dreams, Kawaisou. Her mom, Sumiko, and his roommate. Now, you'll see a lot more of his roommate for sure, which is, his name is Shirosaki. But yeah, his roommate is not only like as I said, he's already a weirdo. He's like some masochist as well, so yeah, there's be nothing but craziness in that household. So even though it's about romance, I'd say you would like to watch it just because it seems like the comedy would be funny itself to make you want to watch this. You might want to just watch it just for the romance, but the comedy actually makes it, to me, worth watching. Like, the comedy itself, because the craziness, this whole setup of that household have you laughing. So it's definitely something you should watch. I actually want to see what happens to this guy and if he actually succeeds in getting the girl or not, because most anime that usually doesn't happen, and if it doesn't, it's probably a harem, and the harem is usually just as bad, so who knows, maybe this is different. You can't expect some sword art online type of ending, but we'll see. So again, I would suggest you watch it. And so there you have it. And this is the First Impressions Spring Anime Part 4. And Part 5 is well on its way, so stay tuned. And again, hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.